Today is April 13th, 2022. My name is Jenna. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting and happy to be here.
Could you say your full name, your age, and your date of birth?
My real name is Rojwol Shrestha and my date of birth is February 2nd, 1978. That's 44 years old now.
What's your full name? What's the name that you like to be called?
They call me Roger, so it's easier for most of the people.
Oh, nice. And where were you born?
I was born in Nepal, Kathmandu, Nepal, in Southeast Asia. Yeah, South Asia, I think.
Okay. Did you grow up there?
Yeah, I grew up until age 18. Then I moved to US for my higher education.
Mm-hmm.
So I did my bachelor, my master on IT. And I was in US for more than 15 years. I finished my master. I was working as IT. I was working in different sector of US. Then I applied to Canada just to immigrate because I have a son. In 2011, and I thought Canada is a better choice to raise the family. And I never want to do any work. I don't want to work for other people. So when I moved down here, my background in US is also in hospitality. My MBA is in hospitality in food service. So I was planning to open a restaurant here, and I was looking everywhere. And I don't know why I found this place for sale over here in Catonsbury, 587 Catonsbury. I was thinking to change that to Italian restaurant where I was working in San Francisco. And just there's too many things to update and all of these things. So I changed my mind because of the regulation. But I don't know what I want to do for the next couple of years. I will just keep doing what they have been doing as a corner store or as a dollar store. They do sell some flour at that time. And so, I was just working and keep going on with the flow, and suddenly, so I have a back of my mind, I want to do something that is not all the corner restaurant does. So I just know because I knew that corner restaurant is not the place that most of the people out of the future is. I really want to change my place, the face, like not as a corner store, but something else. I was planning for the food service. Then I suddenly realized the flour is quite popular at the location where I was. So since my wife was very interested in art, she was a fashion designer, but she's an accountant, but she is very good in the fashion designer in Nepal. So she's also very good in art and everything. So she said she wants to focus on flour. So suddenly once we get our niche on flour, we try to slowly upgrade our business to the flour. Then we start to picking up slowly one by one. It takes time, but people start to recognize we do quality job actually, and very consistent with the quality. Price also we are very good because we don't have too much overhead. So my wife is actually more than me. My wife is very particular on what kind of flour we sell, what kind of flour we give, the designs she has on her own. So then we focus mostly and we try to change this. From corner store selling a lot of cigarette, lotto, a lot of snacks, a lot of candies and all those things, to more into the flour. And since this pandemic happened, actually before pandemic happened, I had in my mind to go online. So actually my friend helped me to set up the online business. So actually before pandemic, I launched my website, shanasflower.ca. So just when this pandemic happened, it was happening, I won't say the right time, but that was the right time I launched that website. And suddenly people start to order one by one slowly online. Then I direct every customer to my website, and I think we did okay. We are, I think, we're getting more popular in Coquitlam now. Actually, a couple of people regarded one of the best flower store in Coquitlam, and we do much better as a flower store rather than the corner store. But people still think we are a corner store, but we do sell everything like we used to sell before. That's how it is.
So was it always called Shana's Flowers?
No, before, sorry, yeah, that's the other thing. Yes, Shana's Marketplace. I don't know what name I should come. So I talked to the person who sold this business. What should I name it? He said, my son name is Sean, S-H-N, Sean. And we love our son so much. So I thought, let's call his name as a marketplace. We didn't know that we were going to open the flower store. So we said, the lady, the realtor says, why don't you put the Shana's Marketplace? And we just put it as a Shana's Marketplace. So it became a Shana's Marketplace. Then to change to the more flowers, and we call it Shana's Flower. And I called the Coquitlam, the city hall. Do I need to register? But he said, we don't need to register if it's flower. You can just keep it called flower. But if it is under the same premises, if you are using the same premises, you don't have to change the name, but you can call yourself as a Shana's Flower. It's okay. So, but even though every transaction happened through the Shana's Marketplace, we are trying to call ourselves as a Shana's Flower. So that's how the name came from.
Nice. And what year did you make the switch?
Oh,
well, first, what year did you?
Yeah, I bought this business 2013, and for first 2000 until 2018 we changed to Shana's Flower.
Oh, okay, so quite recent.
4 years, yeah. For 4 years we didn't know what we actually slowly we were trying to find. For a couple of years we really don't know what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
2017 actually was a very good year. We did a lot of flower, but that's how we knew that the flower is good. So, but we're still doing at Shana's Marketplace, but we do everything at the time: flower, lottery, cigarette, and everything. We are doing really good at that time. But you know, I think the market has been changed for the corner store. From a lot of people go to the big store, 7-Eleven, and because and we can't compete because we don't have the purchasing power. So we have to, our prices are mostly higher than most of our competitors.
Mm-hmm.
So it's less profit, big headache, and too much competition. So that's how I figured out that the flower is the one only that I can compete with other people with our skill and without some personal touch, you know.
Mm-hmm. And to start selling flowers, is there training that you need to do, or is it?
Yes, thank you for that question, because I didn't know, I forgot. My wife went to the training class. It's the Rose Society. If you guys know that the Rose Society is very close to the Poirier Center here in Coquitlam. The Rose Society actually they offer the free, not the free, I think almost free classes for the whoever wants to be a florist, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife went a couple of classes just to figure out if she will be good or not. And she competed in the competition over the Rose Society annual flower show, rose show. So she won a couple of gold, and her design won actually quite a lot of attention and won few awards for 2-3 years, 2016, I think 17, because he started from I think 2016
Mm-hmm.
and 17, and I think almost 18 we have a baby. So we 2016 and 17 we have a baby in 2017, so she couldn't go. But 2016 and 17 when she started to go to that school, that training class, she did very good. So we made a lot of florists. We know a lot of ideas, so I think that's how she able to gain the confidence that she can be a good florist, you know.
Nice. You had a child in 2018, so how is that like with the work-life balance?
Yeah, it was very tough. My baby, when we moved to US, we moved to Canada from US, he was 2 year old. And when we bought this business, we have a really tough time because we don't know about all this childcare and all this subsidies and all this. We didn't know anything. So we don't know where to keep our child when we have a business, So we find out about the childcare and it was a tough time actually. For the next 2 years, we have a really hard time. From after 2016, when he went to school, then we can focus more on our business for the next 2 years. Then 2017, I have another daughter. Then again, we have a little hard time, but we start to manage somehow.
Do you have a favorite flower that?
Well, my favorite flower is actually, all flowers are very nice. I love every flower, but whatever my wife put together, because she have a good eyes, and she knows how to handle the flower very well. So any flowers you give it to her, she can make it beautiful, So it's not about what flower, it's depending upon your mood and upon the occasion, and that's how she make it the same flower in the different context, And I think I like how she handle that flower, So.
And well, is there like a popular one that constantly sells?
Oh, our popular flower is our mixed bouquet, which is we try to focus on very reasonable price with a good quality flower, and that's what we started with this mixed bouquet. What we started as a $18 for, it's a nice big bouquet, and it's a mixed, very good quality flower, and it's then we started then $24, now it's $29, almost $20. It's totally because everything inflation went high, so but I think it's still very reasonable price for that quality of flower.
And do you have a product or like a plant or flower that you personally like that people don't know about?
Well, it's not. I think we are focused on what it's not people don't know. I think flower is good for any occasion. Mm-hmm. It's good for it please the people. So we work what people desire and what festival or what occasion or what moment it is. Mm-hmm. So we work with the people and try to bring that moment through the flower, and that's what we try to come up, and I think we are pretty succeed. And on the other hand, also we also very focused. That's my line of business is I try to be very customer oriented. Mm-hmm. What customer want, how much is important for the delivery time, how much is important for the messages, and all the things that is very important that most of the big business don't do. And we try to fulfill that gap, that personal touch, so I think we are pretty successful on that one.
Do you have like stories of like events or like weddings or stuff that you supplied flowers to?
Yeah, we did a couple of weddings. There's more than the stories. We just we actually started because it's a learning process. Mm-hmm. We are still very new actually. We started 2017. Yeah. We're still very new. Mm-hmm. Because we are still not the 100% fully flower, but we still try to be a florist. But when we started the first wedding, we tried to test ourselves. So actually we did for our friend daughter, and we tried to compliment her with this. She's also actually a very good designer, so we tried to work with her, and it came out very nice. So she was very happy how it came out, and the people appreciate my wife's work. So that added to her confidence and added to our portfolio. Mm-hmm. Since then we start to do more and more wedding. So our job is actually not to do the whole wedding, but to give like a bouquet or small, like a wedding bouquet, wedding. You know, we don't like to organize big wedding because of the workforce. So we just try to be small. I'm not small. I want so small. We try to be limited on that scale. You know, because we don't want to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because we are not exposed yet.
I guess whether you mentioned that you like to be like good with customers. Do you have like a heartwarming customer story that you could share?
Well, yeah, you know, my customer is my family, you know, and my neighborhood, people know each other by name. They know now. This is one of the I think I really like about the Tri-Cities as a whole, but especially the Coquitlam and especially where our neighborhood is. We know by the name, and people know as easily. I can leave my store hold to my customer. They are like my own family. I just do. They come with sometimes they make their own chicken. They bring the lunch. They bring the whatever cake they make. Every day is something new with the customer. You know, the young. Actually, I will tell you the story what happened yesterday. One young guy came. He asked me, "Can I buy flower for my mom?" And actually, he is the first person who ordered the flower from me in 2014 first Valentine's Day. He said, "Can you reserve one? Can you book the 1 dozen roses for my girlfriend?" And yesterday he came and I suddenly flashed back that 5-6 years ago he was a high school student, you know. And yesterday he came for his mom, and I asked him, "Are you the guy who ordered the flower?" He definitely was the guy, and he was so happy, and he was very happy too to see him again. And happened to be he is the son of one of my other good customer, and the whole family actually came to buy flower from us. You know, actually his mother, mother, his husband, his elder son, and himself, and you know, it's like a family. So I was like every day it became a story to tell. You know.
And I guess could you like describe like the clientele or like what your customer demographic is like?
Yes, the customer demographic is was mostly from 50s and up before, but now it has changed to the more younger generation. For the last 2-3 years, I think a lot of houses has been sold, and now because most younger people around all kind of from different diverse community now, and more people you know, from all different races and from all. Before I know there was a lot of mostly the elderly came, and now it's more diverse, and I think all kind of customer comes like now.
And do you attribute that to like because you switched more to selling flowers?
I think so. I think that because of the flower, we became online, and people can once they see our price and quality, and they see what kind of, because when they send the flower and when the recipient talks nice things about our product, definitely they want to come and say thank you, or they want to see where I was located. So I can see that there are new faces, new younger generation, and so that's how I think it changed. And also the neighborhood has changed because the house has been sold. The elderly, a lot of the elderly customer has passed away. Our regular clientele, quite a lot of them has moved out. So and it's probably purchased by the younger generation. So we have now, middle aged, mostly younger generation.
Do you have employees that work for you?
I have right now only my wife and myself,
okay.
And one helper. But I used to have a couple of employees, but because of this COVID and also the not younger generation, they try to change. I mean, of course, when they have a better opportunity, of course they go. And it's quite tough to get the right employee.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy. So we have to work twice hard now.
It's supposed to be like long hours.
Long hours. Before I opened 8 to 8. For 4 years we did that non-stop every day 8 to 8. Only Sunday I will close 5 o'clock. But the rest of the days 8 to 8 I have to go get the flour. Every Tuesday, Thursday, 5 o'clock I have to wake up to go get the auction, get the flour, bring it here. It's not an easy job. Not only the flour, this corner store or flour store, every work is hard when you start it. So I think you have to work hard, otherwise you won't succeed.
Yeah. Where do you get your flowers from?
From the auction.
From the auction.
Auction is our auction in Burnaby.
Okay.
Is one of the second largest auction in northern America, continent.
Yes.
So we are the second largest here. So that actually helps us to compete with the other big store, because we can we know what we are getting and what are the prices we're getting,
So do they work? Is it like it works like a regular auction? You have to bid on like the flowers
Yeah,
you want?
yeah. It's a regular auction only for the one who deal with the flower. You have to be a member. Once you become a member, then you go there every Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday. There 3 times a week, every month. Every week, and the auction starts exactly 6 o'clock. But if you can go and check out the flower, you have to be there around 5:30, and so so that's how and the pricing and all these things. So you're able to, once you get more experience with the auction, then you know the pricing, and it's tricky, but it's fun as well.
Is like supply good right now for?
No. Last couple of years, this COVID, everything was messed up, and we have to stay alive for 2 hours to get the flour. Sometimes 2-3 hours just to get the flour, because this long line, there's not enough flour, any kind of flour, and the prices has went up like probably 2 or 3 times higher than what we used to get. But the customer don't understand it. They think it's supposed to be less, but the flour demand has went up from the COVID, I think, because people don't travel, they just want to send the flour probably, so that's why it went up quite a lot. But the supply was totally lacking, because we don't get it they usually get from South America, from Europe, from I think Israel, and mostly from the US and South America. And they have it's still getting pretty okay, but I think they have a problem with the supply at that time. Now it's started opening up slowly, but we have a real problem for 2020 and 21, and 21. Then that's what the prices went up quite high.
And aside from that, did you stay open at the beginning of the pandemic, or did you have to close down?
Pardon me?
At the beginning of the pandemic, did your store stay open?
Yeah. We opened throughout the pandemic. We only closed on first month. I think that's March of 2020.
Yeah.
That month we are we shortened the hour, and we are very careful. And then we start to use all the tools or the preventive measure that we can, masking, putting the cover, glass cover, and all those things. And actually that helped. I hope that we didn't have any outbreak from my store, so I think that helped. It was a little bit. The other product has went down from cigarette. Still, what I used to sell from before, if you compare to now, it went down probably 60-70%. Most of the other product, the children doesn't come because they don't have to go to school. So I don't have any sales for the chocolate bar and all the candies and everything. All the confectionery item like the drinks and all those things, it went down 50% at least, because there's not too many people are out there. So now it's slowly started picking up, but I don't know, it will take a little time to get that level, 2016, 17, 18. So if I don't have a flower, I don't think I will be in the business.
Right.
And a lotto. People play a lot of lotto.
Yeah. Nice. But yeah, like so people. But you said more people bought flowers over.
Yes, for my business, yes. Overall, I think I have a higher demand than before. Probably I was online or people call, and yeah, people. I think that's the one of the reason. Probably the demand has soared for last 2 years, and I think we did pretty okay. Not very good, but we did okay. Yeah.
And how does your online store work? Like, so people order and then you have someone deliver the flowers?
Yeah, it's a tough. To be in this small business is not easy.
Yeah.
I do everything. I take the order on phone or online. I check every half an hour. I check online because it was automatically set up for my email. So I get a notification and I check. I call the customer. I say I get all the information correct, and I just if there's any question, I will let them know if they want to change the flower or if I don't have those particular flower in the what I was described on the picture, I'll let them know. I substitute or I give them a better flower, and I get all the messages that I put together. My wife and we put together. Then I do delivery after I close. My store hour was 9 to 7. Then I start to close 6. So I told them my delivery time will be between 6 to 7. So that's when I close 6, then I go to deliver them from 6 to 7. So that's not easy. I had a couple of people who helped me out. When it's like Mother's Day or Valentine's Day, there are a few people who come and help me out, and I hire a couple of them to delivery and to help in the store. But on the normal day, I do myself, and it's not that easy, but it's okay.
Wow. And like for like Mother's Day or those sorts of events, do you do anything special?
Oh yeah, we have our special Mother's Day special bouquet or arrangement that we put it on our website or Google it. I mean, we put it on Google. Google also give us some support, what kind of feature for the certain occasion. So we put that on Google or our Facebook page or our Instagram or our website. So those are the 4 or 5 basic things we usually do: Instagram, Facebook,
What's
Google.
your handle for social media? What's your Instagram handle?
Yeah, I do everything.
No, the at Shana's Flowers, is that?
Yeah, Shana's Flower, at Shana's Flower, yeah. At Shana's Flower, and same with the Facebook. And actually, we get most of the business from the Google. I don't know why, but people call right away, and they come if they want a direction, they can get it right away. So we do special, like we knew on these are the big occasion. Most of the people raise the price, but we try to make sure people get good quality flower. Not people don't have to spend hundreds of dollars, but I mean they can get them with a limited budget also the very good quality flower. So that's what we try to focus, and that's why we have quite a lot of walking customer. Yeah, it's a tricky business. We are learning every year,
Nice. What do you enjoy about?
I think I enjoy, even with my degree. I have an IT degree, bachelor. I was a computer IT bachelor in IT, and I did my MBA on hospitality. I can find a job easily, but I grew up in the family. My dad has a business. I used to go to help my dad. I like that environment, interaction with people. I like the small business. I don't know. So I think with the interaction with people, it's became a part of my life. I think I grew up helping my dad, and while I was working in US, even though I made good money, but I was not happy. Not because I don't have a business. It's just business is for me is the freedom. I feel like I don't have to ask somebody to go for lunch. I don't have to ask. I mean, it's a discipline too, if you want, but this is my personal view, and I just thought I was more happy. I make less money while compared to what I was doing in the US, but as a self-satisfaction, I think I'm more happier and satisfied, even working more hours in this business, So I think that's how it is.
What was your dad's business?
My dad used to do the construction supply. We used to do big construction like a cement, iron, because in Nepal we do the material like cement, iron, all kind of big building, and we used to supply them. So all my family, from my uncle and everybody does the same. We used to have a factory, iron factory, and we, I grew up, in the construction business, doing the small business, interacting with the people. So I don't know how come I came with the flower, but I think I will still go with the restaurant one day. I want to do that. I'm so happy when I'm working in the restaurant. I feel very good. I don't know why, because the whole atmosphere makes me very happy. So maybe one day.
Nice. So, and you said you want to do like an Italian restaurant?
Yeah, because that's what I went to the culinary school, doing the French and Italian, and I work in an Italian restaurant, and probably that's what I think I'm good at, and maybe infuse a little bit, but like with a little bit of Nepalese spices, so come up with some. I don't like to open big. Now I think it's more about the casual dining. That's what I want to do. I enjoy, but this has the restaurant business has changed as well, as I can see. There's a lot of all this online order and this. So probably I'm not too familiar, but I think if you have a good product, it will go no matter what you have,
Nice. Speaking of, do you have like recipes from your family that you were passed down to you?
For the food?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like crepes, in Nepal they have crepes. They can make it with the white rice or with the wheat. It's a different. It's more healthier. So we can do that. We can call it chatamari in Nepal, but here it calls crepes. But we have made with the rice. Over here they made with the flour. So we can change that. There are a lot of ideas like we can. As a chef, I'm not calling myself a chef. As a culinary student, I like to infuse, but I still want to keep the traditional. I don't want to change too much, but a little bit infuse and make it more modern, So that's what I want to do. And as I said before, I'm more into the customer service. But you have to have a good product at the same time. You want to serve the good food at the same time, the good customer service. So that's what I want to. My future is still. We're waiting for that day. We'll see.
Where did you go to culinary school?
I went to my MBA is from Collins School in Los Angeles, San Bernardino. We have a Kellogg's, Kellogg's, the world famous Kellogg's cereal. He started that Kellogg's School of Hospitality in San Bernardino, so that's what I went. It's one of the best for the I would say big chain, big multinational organization, hospitality organization, but I want to be small. Probably that's why I'm not too much focused on them, but I like to be small business,
And where did you go to school for IT?
San Francisco State University. That's what I've learned. Before that, I used to do in Nepal from NIT. That belongs from Delhi, India. So that's what I actually did some of my programming. Then I was more in the database, so I did my C++, Oracle. So now even the technology has changed, so I have to update on that as well.
Yeah, what made you decide to go into IT in the first place, though?
Because everybody was IT. Actually, I don't know. When I finished my high school, 16. Then everybody was doing something, and I wanted to do something. Everybody was into IT. I think that was 1996. So I want to do something different than my dad, my mom. I went to this school, this NIT college. So actually, I became one of the top students over there, and it gives me so much confidence. So I think I will be good at that with the technology. So when I came to San Francisco, that's what I tried to pursue, and that's what I did, you know.
Yeah.
But because of a little bit of my life changes, because of I had an accident, a big accident, a car accident in 2003. Yeah, I think 2003. So I lost my girlfriend at the car accident. So that changed my whole idea of working in IT.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know. After that, I was in coma for 16, 17 days. I was almost died. So that changed. That changed my perspective of life, my IT dream, and everything. So I don't know what I want to do after that. So that's what I started to do, focusing on food, because I like cooking. You know, I like culinary, hospitality. So that's how it started.
And when did you meet your wife?
Oh, 2007. I think 2007. I met my wife Shana. Actually, through one of my friend, my so-called sister. It's not a sister, but my friend. So she introduced to me, and we came. She also from Nepal, so we have a lot of common things to talk. So that's how we became closer, and we came to know each other.
Was that in Canada or?
No, it's all in US. After I met, we married in 2010. I forgot, 2009 or 10. I forgot when we married. 2010, 11, I think. No, 2009, I think. So no, yeah, 2009, and then 2009 we got married. Yeah. So when we have a baby, then we moved to Canada.
And how was it moving to the different countries?
Yeah, from Nepal to US to Canada. Yeah. From Nepal to US, I was more excitement. It's because of that. I was 18, I was 19. I was turning 19. So much excitement, so much hope and dream, you know. And even though you don't know what you want to do, but you know you can achieve whatever you want. So I was just a young age, you know, I just want to go along with supposed to finish the college, all those excitement. So, but when I came to Canada, I know what I want. I think I was more serious because I have a child. So probably the age difference. I was 18 now. When I moved here, I was 35, 36. So I was more mature. That also plays a role. Became more thinking differently than I used to be. So you know, I mean, it's Canada. I have more excitement. But when we moved here first time, when I see all this rain, when I moved first night, December 28, when I moved here, it was raining, it was pouring for a week, and it's getting dark at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock. I was blaming myself why I moved to Canada. I was like, I shouldn't do that. And I thought I made a big mistake. But luckily, I changed my mind now. I'm more used to. I think the right thing. I mean, I'm much more happier than in the US probably. Yeah. So I think it's just time will change a lot of things.
Yeah, you get used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it. But I think I'm more full season than in San Francisco. Even though it's full, but I never saw the snow. I mean, there's never been San Francisco has one of the best weather, I think. It's never too cold, never too hot, always between 18 to 25. Sometimes it gets worse, is 28, 30 degree. And the least it gets is 10 degree centigrade, so you are always between that 17, 18, 20, 25, 17, so all year, and I never experienced the snow and the cold and hot, so that's why I love San Francisco, but I love Vancouver as well, so there's not too much difference.
So when did you move to Coquitlam?
When I moved, I first did some research in Canada, and I know I want to move to Vancouver, so I was thinking what in Vancouver, so I thought I would do some research, and North Burnaby is the best place I figured out at that time. I don't know how, but that's what I figured out. Yeah. So I moved. That time there's a hotel, motel. So I stayed there for 2 weeks, and I just came up with my car, and I started to look for a room, and I found one place for $800 a month. That Burnaby, I stayed there for 6 months. Then I had some saving while I was working in US, so I cannot afford in Burnaby or Vancouver, so we figured out that Coquitlam is the best place to buy a home. So that's our budget. So we just bought it, and actually one of my friend, my wife's friend, she helped us to get a loan and all these things. So that's how we started to end up in the Coquitlam, and we never regret. So we have a business here now. So I'm happy.
Throughout your time at your business, have you seen like the neighborhood change and grow? Or?
Yeah, it's become much busier. When I moved 2013 to 14, I used to live in the River Spring, and I used to drive. There's so much less traffic. It's not too long. 6 years ago, or 5, 6 years. Now it's so hard to get past to go around this marina. There's a lot of traffic now. There are lots of houses, a lot of lot of buildings now, tall buildings, and a lot of apartments. And you can see a lot of people, even in the Burke Mountains, quite a lot. So I think it has changed quite a lot. Especially Coquitlam Center became a very, very busy place. Very, very busy place. And that's why I think there's a lot of changes. I think a lot of new people. I think it's all good, but now people are moving away. People who used to live like I told you about the older generation. I think they moved to the Maple Ridge or Langley because I talked to them,
Yeah.
So most of the people say they either moved to the Maple Ridge or Langley or further back, So and that's probably this new generation that now there's a one property become two property. They have changes quite a lot. So.
And how do you know like small other small businesses around your area? Do you support them? Do they support you?
Yeah. I work. It was a Mermont market. It's a small. We try to help each other. I actually supply them with my flour, and he supplied me with a lot of other things so I don't have to deal with other directly, because he is also a very good businessman, and he's a very nice person. So I work before there was a Bill. He got in Austin Avenue, Bill's Market. Now what's the fruit? Was that fruit? The big vegetable store.
Safeway?
No, all the way to the Austin, all the down. Vegetable and produce store.
Langley,
yeah. Used to be a Bill's store.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that used to be Bill. He got ill, so he had to sell it or close down the business. So Langley bought it.
Yeah.
A few years ago. Bill was one of the nicest person. He helped me a lot about the flour. He used to do a lot of flour at the time, according to my friends and for other people. He used to do very good with the flour, but something happened to his health. I heard that, so I don't know, but and he sold to the land. So then now I work with the Marmont. I cannot work with the 7-Eleven because they are not they are the corporation by itself, so I cannot go and. But Marmont and Bills, we work together. So at least I try to actually make a group, and we can have a higher processing power. Like 6-7 come together. Yeah. But it's not easy. Yeah. There was one in the Como Lake too. We worked together, but it's very difficult, because the big secret supplier or the company that supply us, they don't want us to be together. They have their own way to separate us. They give some price to you, some price to them. They tell them not to sell this to them.
Right.
It's all this policy, and that's what I don't want this. So it's very hard for small businesses because they don't have a choice. But yeah.
What would you say? So, like amongst all those things, what would you say would be one of the more challenging parts or things you don't like about running a business?
The worst thing is the time. You don't have time for your family. I have 2 kids now, and I want to take a vacation sometime, but it's so hard. You have to really work together what time of the year is best to take a vacation. And for the last 7-8 years, I'm taking like 2-3 times vacation. And before I used to open 7 days, for the last 3 years I used to close Sunday. Now I don't work on Sunday. Now I don't work I close early. Now my hour is 10 to 6, so I can spend more time. But everybody won't have that luxury probably because it's not easy. Not everybody won't be a florist, so it's very challenging, I would say. And the worst thing is you don't have a time for your family and for yourself too. So that's even sometimes you can make some money, but how you balance your work and life.
Yeah.
That's the challenge.
I'm thinking, do you know where your family surname came from?
My Shrestha. Shrestha is from my Shrestha is actually from Nepal. We are our ethnic name comes from Newar. Newar is one ethnic group in Nepal that used to be come from I think it's the Mongolian. I think it's mixed with the Mongolian, Tibetan Mongolian root, and we are regarded as business people, since thousand years, So if you look at the Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal, our ancestor, the Newar, used to be a king, and they used to run the country for thousands of years, and they became they did very, very good. I won't want to compare, but because it's going to be a racial remark, but at the same time, it's true that when there was Newar was running the Kathmandu for thousands of years, they developed quite a lot. If you see all the temples and all the street and everything is not less than, and it became like 7 of the world heritage is in Kathmandu because of all the stupas, all the temple, all the street, and they have their own culture. Then this another king, and now became Nepal. Now Kathmandu became a part of the big Nepal, and there's nothing wrong, but we are regarded as business people, So that's how the Shrestha came. Shrestha is one of the surname for the Newar. There are hundreds and hundreds of different surnames for Newar, so Shrestha is one of the names.
Nice. And do you have stories from your grandparents or parents that have been passed down to you?
About Newar?
Or like any interesting family history stories that you can think of?
Uh, I don't know too much about that. I mean, well, family history. I mean, family history. The only family history is I mean, we are in Kathmandu for thousands of years,
Okay.
and it has been changes, and it's like anywhere else in the world. We become immigrant here, and this place has changes, so there's nothing wrong. But I mean, it's a part of the life. I won't say anything. Well, they always want me to. Only one thing is when I want to do a science because I like science. I want to do after your high school. They will ask you want to be a science student or your art student or your business student or music student. They ask me, and I consult with a lot of my friends and family, especially my family and my uncle and everybody. They say, you are new or you should do the business, so you should focus on business. And happened to be it's true, even though I have a technology and everything, I end up in business. Probably that's in the blood, probably, So that's probably the, passing of the Neorian blood, probably, to be a businessman. So either small or big, but.
Do you still have family back in?
Yeah, actually, all my family is back home. My mom, my dad, my uncle, thousands and thousands of people. In Nepal, if you have any kind of holidays or celebration, you have to invite thousands of people. So there's too many people. I don't know probably most of them, but I became more Canadian now, and I'm proud to be. But I still have a heritage, so I still try to update myself with back home. But it's not easy, With too many people.
Yeah. Have you been back since you?
I went 3 times all this time. One, and after I have an accident in 2003, then I went 2016, and I went 2018. So only 3 times I went to Nepal. I long deal. My wedding I did myself. I just waited in separate levels. This is a court. I just got married, and it's, life is not easy.
And is English your first language, second language?
The second language. We always study English in Nepal because I was privileged because I came from a very well-to-do family, let's say. Privileged family in Nepal, let's say. You don't have to work too hard. So I have a chance to go to English school and boarding school, but English has always been our second language, and we always been taught since childhood. So it's not that difficult, but that's how I learned English. But I went to a different university, college. I spent more than half of my life in school until age 30. So that's not good.
What was your first language?
It's Nepal. Nepal, and my ethnic language, like I said, Newar is our ethnic language. But I know a little bit, but I'm not fluent. But Nepali is our first language.
And did you have any heirlooms or stuff that's passed down to you?
No.
Yeah, you probably moved around too much, so yeah.
Not too much, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any upcoming things with your business?
Upcoming every occasion now the Mother's Day is coming, so we try to come up with the idea how to come up with something that is more up to date and a price point at the center, how to handle that big rush with a smooth transition, giving the same quality of service as the product. So we are working on that. So because shortage of employee and shortage of probably going to be a product, but product I already put it together, but mostly because of the employee. So we are working on that. Still, we have 1 more month. So.
I think we've come to the end of our interview. Is there any advice or something that you want to share to the people watching this that you'd like to share?
Well, I will just say that, I mean, Canada is one of the best country, I mean, for the immigrant or non-immigrant or whatever you want to call, because when I have a hard time, swear to God, I really have a hard time, and Canadian government helped me each and every step by providing childcare, supporting a lot of things. So it's not all the country does that, because I live in US too. So I can compare that. You have a free healthcare, even though it's not 100%. I mean, there's not, but basic healthcare is very important. That Canada, not only the healthcare, only financially also they help quite a lot. In terms of simple things like childcare or taxes for the lower income family, and so I always appreciate the Canadian government. And some people say, "Oh, we have to pay a lot of taxes," but it's not for nothing. It's just for a lot of things that we don't see. A lot of things that we take it very granted. And so living here, I think, I start to appreciate the Canadian government, and I think that's the first thing that for all the immigrants and people who live here, we have to thank that they welcome all the immigrants, and we should. And for the young people, I just say like I heard somebody, smart is not only enough. We have to work hard. So it has to go. Smartness all pays up, but we have to make it your job. To be successful, you have to really work hard in any career. You definitely have to work hard. So talent and smartness does not only pay off, but if you put your working hard, and that will really, you will be succeed there. That's what I would say.
Nice. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. And thank you for interviewing, and hopefully it will help most of the people and my experience, but not too much, but whatever I have, it will be okay.